I've been invited by Robin Marsh and Margaret Ali to attend this celebration of the United Nations International Day of Families. I have also been asked to examine both the ways that different faiths prepare and educate their believers for marriage and support their young married couples, and I will be doing this from the Sikh faith's perspective. Celebrated on 15th May, which is today, every year, International Day of Families observes the importance the international community attaches to families around the world. The United Nations has recognized since 1994 that we need to respect diverse forms of families, protect the basic rights of all family members, including women and children, and promote equality and equity between men and women. It seems that the family is under attack. In many places worldwide, this very basic unit and its members face the challenges of indignity, degradation, poverty, exploitation, and other human rights violations. In the UK, the family is hardly a protected institution. It is continually weakened by domestic violence, pressures and strains by increased economic and market demands, unemployment, obesity, illness, disease, and other problematic issues that make the family increasingly vulnerable. It is a fundamental belief in the Sikh faith that peace begins in the home. Peace in one's own mind will lead to peace in one's family and home. Peace in the home will contribute to peace in the community. For a Sikh, there are four main ceremonies that have great spiritual significance. Firstly, the naming ceremony performed soon after birth. The second important ceremony of the Sikh is the Amrit Sanchar or baptism ceremony. The third ceremony is the Anand Karj marriage ceremony, which I'll be going into a little bit more. The fourth ceremony is the Antam Sanskar, the funeral ceremony. Now, spiritual marriage, as well as physical marriage, is also a fundamental belief in Sikhism. In Sikhism, the marriage ceremony is called the Anand Karj, which is also known as the ceremony of bliss. The institution of marriage is as old as the civilization of mankind, and mankind has practiced marriage by various ritual ceremonies prevalent since ancient times. We live in a society where marriage has lost its value. Many marriages are ending in divorce. Why? Primarily because the purpose of marriage is not understood. Furthermore, people have little support in the journey of their soul and little support from their community. I will state here that the barriers of decent behavior on the part of both partners in the marriage act are gradually breaking down and are a cause of constant worry and unhappiness in society. In the Sikh marriage ceremony, we are offered a way to bring the spiritual support into our lives. The fourth Guru, Guru Ram Das, has given us a formula for a successful marriage in the form of 4 lama, or 4 rounds or concepts. In fact, he describes for us the sacred journey of the soul merging with the infinite. When applied to marriage, it results in happiness and fulfillment. Within the norms of the Sikh religion, marriage is an essential ingredient of the life of a Sikh. The Sikh Gurus led a life of Grihasti Jivan. That means they led a full married family life, in which very important standards were set, both ethical and spiritual. The sanctity of a Sikh marriage can be gauged from the unique marriage of Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism. Instead of accepting to be married by way of a traditional Hindu ceremony, Guru Nanak Dev Ji inscribed the symbol Ik Onkar on the mud floor and performed the act of Lama around it, signifying the married act as sacred and centered on Ik Onkar, one God, the universal spirit. The Sikh Gurus themselves led a family life. They insisted that marriage is not merely a civil or social contract, but its highest and most ideal purpose is to fuse 2 souls into one so that they may become spiritually inseparable. Sikhism is not a way of renunciation. For our salvation, realization of truth, or attainment of and to find God, we do not have to give up our homes and wander in the woods, the wilderness, to seek the Lord. who prevails in us all and in whom we all exist. The true marriage of a Sikh is the marriage between the soul and the spirit. The Guru's own words are, Tanpir in akhiya behan jo ikatthe hoye, ek jo doi murti tanpir kaiya soy. I'm sure you didn't understand that, but for those who didn't, the Guru is saying they are not to be called husband and wife. And listen very carefully. They are not to be called husband and wife who only sit together, right? Rather, they are husband and wife who have one spirit and two bodies. The marriage ceremony refers to this union in 4 stages, which lead us from the egoistic, self-centered state to the ultimate union with the universal spirit. The marriage ceremony is simple but impressive. The bride and the groom, along with the relatives and friends, form a congregation in front of the Sikh Holy Scriptures, Guru Granth Sahib. The person in charge of the function addresses the bride and the bridegroom individually and explains to them their duties in the new life they are about to enter. Marriage is a sacrament. The Guru is a witness to the marriage. No writing or document is necessary. The bridegroom is to vow fidelity to the wife, Istri Bhat Dharam, while the bride is to vow fidelity to her husband, Pati Bhat Dharam. The husband is to protect the life and honor of his wife, while she to remain content with the lot of her husband. The Anand Karj begins with the Palla ceremony. This is the point where the father of the bride gives away the daughter to the bridegroom, entrusting him with responsibility for the future well-being of his daughter. The Guru Granth Sahib is then opened, and the priest reads the first verse of the Lama from it. The verse is then sung by the musicians set to a set meter, and during the course of this singing, the couple slowly circumambulate or go around Guru Granth Sahib. The groom leads in a clockwise direction, and the bride, holding the saffron scarf, follows as nearly as possible in step. When the couples reach the front of the Holy Granth and the musicians end the singing of the first verse, they both bow and take their respective places. Thus are conducted all the remaining 3 Lamas, and the last 4th concludes the Lama ceremony. The hymns of the marriage ceremony are composed by Guru Ramdas, the 4th Guru, and written to celebrate the wedding of the individual soul, which is also known as the Atma, with the great spouse, the universal soul, the Paramatma. There are 4 stages in the progress of man towards his union with the Lord. They are, and this is reflected in the 4 Lama. Their first aspect is order, second is love, third is restraint, and the last one is harmony. The Satguru wishes that our married life should also be molded on the ideal laid down by our union with the Paramatma. The man and woman who undertake marriage according to the Sikh rites are expected to and urged to strive after this ideal state of marriage. On the husband's part, this is to be achieved by his love and respect for his wife and her family, and his recognition of her individuality and equality as a human being and the life partner. He should have nothing but kindness and consideration for her, and in this role as head of the joint household, he should guide and support her. On the wife's part, she should respect and love him and his family, and her loyalty and support should be with his life's aspirations in sharing moments of joy and sorrow. Only in the spiritual union is complete happiness and satisfaction to be found. A man and woman who live together with no spiritual love for each other are not truly married, according to the Sikh Gurus. Marriage is a spiritual identity, not just a love affair between 2 people. The focus of marriage is not romantic love or physical liaison, though these aspects of marriage naturally bring their own delight. Sikhism teaches the followers to build a social structure on the basis of universal brotherhood, love for each other, equality, fraternity, and sarbat dapala, goodness for all. It believes in individual as well as collective prosperity. It preaches that human beings